Hey everybody, I'm Tim and these are the new kids on the block. And you're watching Cigars Daily. Get more out of this in all our videos when you join the community on Cigars Daily Plus. Man, I tell you what, year after year in the cigar world, new blends are released and it never gets less exciting. The next new flavor that's here to grip your palate with amazing complexity is always right around the corner. And right now, just like this week, so many new things have come out that I couldn't not tell you about them. And so today I'm going to take you through some hot off the presses blends that have just arrived and that you will be able to find out there in the wild where the cigars roam and are hunting down your taste buds to conquer them. Within this list, of course, there are some great new blends that range all the way from ultra high-end, very elite cigars to daily smokes at low prices that you'll be able to enjoy just about anytime you want, all the way over here to stuff that is palate-slaying amazingness, stuff that I have been so excited about. And so I'll ask you up front, drop your comment down below. What's the newest cigar that you've had? Something that came out relatively recently that you loved, that gave you that aha moment of oh yeah, I'm going to be chasing this experience for a lot of time to come. Drop that down in the comments below. And of course, with no further ado, let's jump right in. Now, we all have amigos in our life, wonderful friends we get together with, we smoke and create new memories. And I'm willing to bet, though, that at least a few of you watching this have some enemigos, which is a word that I honestly didn't know existed until this cigar came out from Gran Habano as part of their ultra premium series of cigars. Enemigo means enemy. So I'm not really sure what the backstory is to this cigar, but it's certainly a very fascinating idea behind a cigar. The one thing I can tell you about Gran Habano is this. They were one of the original Honduran brands to just start slaying the industry with incredible flavor. Stuff like the Gran Habano Corojo No. 5, the Connecticut No. 1. And in recent years, they've come up with some really nice, I think, the idea is more boutique-y type blends, but the Enemigo is in its own category, set aside with Gran Habano's 20th anniversary. For 20 years, they've been making great cigars. Now their latest addition is the Enemigo, which uses an Ecuador Habano wrapper and binder, and on the inside fillers from Colombia, the Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. So lots going on in this cigar. And by the way, you're going to notice this trend going on in here. There's a lot of variety in the countries that are going into these blends. Lots of multiple country blends. Not a ton of puros coming out, at least this week. But in terms of the Enemigo, it is a very medium strength cigar, very smooth, with some very subtle flavors in there, but definitely fills out the entire palate with some really good stuff. I'll be telling you guys more in future videos about the flavor profile with this, but one thing's for sure, if you're looking for an elite and refined smoking experience, the Enemigo is your friend. Now, as Gran Habano knocks down an ultra premium blend, Punch Cigars is coming along with something a little more economy based. This is a line addition to a very popular series within Punch Cigars catalog, and it is the Punch Knuckle Buster Shade. Some of you guys will remember that a few years ago, Punch released the original Knuckle Buster, which I don't remember if it was the Maduro or the Habano now. Oh my gosh, how's my memory gotten so bad? Doesn't matter. They've had the Habano, they've had the Maduro, but now there's a beautiful shade blend. This one uses an insane 6-country blend, including, I'm literally going to read this off because 6 is more countries than I can remember in one sitting. Ecuador, Connecticut wrapper with a Mexican binder underneath. I'm going to say this. I mentioned in videos before that seeing a Connecticut shade wrapper with Mexican San Andreas underneath is not something that has been super common, although very recently it seems to be getting much more common. I see a lot of, very specifically, Connecticut shade wrapper with Mexican San Andreas binder, which may be to provide some strength, but what's crazy to me is that the combustion of these two leaves works together, but for some reason it seems to for a lot of different cigar makers. The filler of this uses leaves from Colombia, the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, and the good old US of A. And somehow they've collected these tobaccos from all these different countries and brought them to one place and then made you a nice, complex $6 cigar. I've said it before. The Knuckle Buster is sort of a love it, hate it brand. Some people think they're absolutely amazing, especially for the price. Some people are like, no, my palate is a little more discerning and I don't like the quality of the cigar. But for $6, it's worth at least checking it out. And if you're a Connecticut cigar lover, well, hell, you got a whole new bag, baby. So we've got the ultra premium, we've got a more affordable economy smoke. Now it's time to get weird with Matt Booth from Room 101 and the re-release of the Room 101 Hit and Run. This is a full strength cigar, and good Lord, I want to tell you this. I've smoked everything I'm talking about in this video. Since it came in this week, I just couldn't not sit and smoke through absolutely everything. This one, by far, the strongest blend that I have received. So first of all, the blend, and again, lots of countries. Mexican San Andreas wrapper on the outside. So good, nice, hearty, dark, leathery wrapper leaf. Under that, Ecuador Sumatra binder. Then on the inside, fillers. There's a 98 Corojo, like a Nicaraguan 98 Corojo. It's a very nice Corojo leaf. There's a filler from Pennsylvania and another one that's just undisclosed, which feels kind of messed up and is exactly the kind of thing we would expect from our good friend Matt Booth. The one thing I can tell you is that this thing is wholesale power. Oh my gosh, dark, leathery, coffee. It just casts a dark shadow like the looming clouds of Mordor over your palate. I mean, really descends with darkness. Literally, the room gets darker as you smoke it because there's so many dark, rich flavors in this cigar. So certainly for the fans of that full strength, full flavor, wail on your palate with complexity type thing, and certainly the eccentric craziness of Matt Booth is probably enough craziness for our whole industry. So the next cigar is more of a run-of-the-mill daily smoke, but nonetheless my favorite cigar in this lineup. It's one I have been so looking forward to, and that is the Diesel Vintage Series Natural. My buddy from Diesel came over and he was sitting in my office. He says, Tim, I want you to try this. And he gave me originally the Diesel Vintage Series Maduro, the first one they released. And when I lit it up, it just overwhelmed my palate with this amazingly complex flavor profile with this plum-like sweetness and so much strength. Such a good cigar, and is probably the one cigar I've smoked more of since its release than anything else. Now it comes out in this natural wrapper right here. And oh my gosh, the blend has got the same vibrant level of explosive flavor notes that I get from the Maduro, just in a more medium package. So if you're the type of smoker that doesn't really full strength, this cigar will give you something to absolutely sink your teeth into. And it's crazy because when Justin Andrews gets together with AJ Fernandez, they blend these cigars with so much good flavor. And yet the blend doesn't ever come off paper as something that's going to be super complex. It doesn't sound complex. And again, I'm not trying to insinuate that if a cigar has more different countries represented in the blend, that it's going to be more complex. Certainly there are Nicaraguan puros, just cigars with all Nicaraguan leaf that have got incredible complexity. And if there's any proof that a lack of complexity of countries represented in the blend still can provide flavor and volumes, this cigar is that. This one uses an Ecuador wrapper, a Habano binder, and fillers from Nicaragua, from the growing regions of Jalapa and Esteli. It just happens to be that the collaborations between Justin Andrews and AJ Fernandez are winners. These two have been just pissing excellence for a long time, and you can typically count on one of their blends that says Diesel on the band to rock your world. Honest to God, this last one is just it's a head scratcher for me. This is kind of like a what the hell type cigar. And that is the Chillin Moose Toro. So I remember from my very early time in the cigar industry, this cigar came out called Chillin Moose. And it's got this moose on the band. And as far as shelf appeal goes, you're like, oh, look at the moose. He's chillin'. I want to be chillin'. So maybe we can chill together. And the cigar is cheap. They're $5 a stick. And so Chillin Moose all on its own launched as a very good brand, and it's blossomed into this huge catalog of blends between Chillin Moose and the Bull Moose, and now there's a Bull Moose Maduro, and there's just so much going on in the Chillin Moose catalog all by itself. And somehow, their original blend doesn't have a Toro size. It's like they were sitting around looking at the catalog and they're like, oh, that's just kind of missing. Maybe we should just do that. And now all of a sudden they just crap out Chillin Moose Toro. So if you want that great Chillin Moose experience, but the Robusto is just not quite enough, and maybe their Gordo 6x60 is a little bit more of a commitment than you've got time for, The Toro is here, I guess, to save the day. They're like getting around to it. Good job, Chillin Moose. You're winning. Now, of course, I'm putting this video out just a couple of weeks before I go to the Premium Cigar Association Trade Show. This is where so much new stuff is going to get released that, quite frankly, I can't believe there are so many new things coming out right now. It's pretty impressive, and certainly there's a lot more to come. So I am excited, as I always am, about the new stuff coming out. This stuff is already here, and a lot of it has been just like risen to the top of my list of stuff that I'm looking for in the humidor to grab out and light up. And depending on what kind of cigar lover you are, there's something perfect, even just in this lineup for you. And stay tuned for so much more to come. And guys, thank you so much for joining me here. Do check this video out on the community on Cigars Daily Plus. This is Tim signing off for Cigars Daily, and I will see you in the comments.